Hey everyone, welcome to the Ask Nicole Weekly live stream, where we answer your tech and marketing questions as it relates to small business. My name is Nicole Willette. I own Breaking Even Communications, which is an online marketing company that has existed for about 14 years. And we've worked with hundreds of clients in that time to do everything from create websites to run social media campaigns to creating content, all that stuff. If you want to learn more about what we do or just watch past broadcasts, you can scroll back wherever you're watching this now. Although our YouTube channel has organized playlists, which are make things a little easier to find. And our blog has all of our past broadcasts on it as well, with show notes as well as lots of other resources as well. So check that out if you like what you see here. Now, today's topic is all about social media contests. And the reason it's about that is that I realized last week while I was talking about collaborating with other businesses, I said, oh, yeah, you could also just run a giveaway on your social media. And I didn't really get into how that would be done, why that would be done, and that sort of thing. So I thought it would be helpful to do a broadcast about it. And since I was slammed last week, I said, hey, Jessica, can you help me pull together some notes for this social media broadcast? And her notes were so fantastic. And I realized that this broadcast would be really long if I went through all of them. Plus, I wanted her to be involved in at least part of it. So I'm going to do this week's broadcast talking about best practices, looking at a couple of examples of contests as well. And then next week, we're going to do a part 2 where we actually look at the contest rules and how they vary between different social media websites. So I asked Jessica if she wants to come on as a guest. I have not, she's been traveling. I have been messaging her sparingly so that she can enjoy her travels, but we'll see if she is able to join us next week. And I'm guessing she will. So like I said, today we're talking best practices, and I just want to go over some general ideas and talk a little bit about contests I've seen run and how I thought they could have been better. So the first and the biggest thing is that your contest has to have official rules. I know that sounds obvious, but what you'll notice is if you look at online contests, there's typically like a little paragraph, if it's a form you're entering or whatever, with some abbreviated rules. And then there's a link that usually goes to like the longer multi-page version of the rules. Now, do you have to have multiple pages of rules? No. But if you thought there was something fraudulent going on, or if somebody otherwise got mad at you about the contest, you really don't have much of a leg to stand on if you didn't have any official rules. So let me tell you a little story from probably over 10 years ago now at this point. There was a local service business, okay, I'm just going to leave it at that, who was trying to run a contest to increase engagement on their Facebook page. And so they wanted people to post pictures of their dogs doing, I don't know, something. I forget what it was, on their social media page. So you would post the picture or you would email in the picture and they would post it. And then you were supposed to get people to like the picture that you submitted. And so what a bunch of people did was they went below the photo and they clicked the share button to share it with their whatever, their friends and their family on their own personal profile. Now, what happens when you share is almost like it makes a copy, right? It kind of copies the picture and puts it on your profile. And so people were starting to like it on, like the picture, say on my profile. And those likes were not counting because they weren't on the originally posted picture. So the whole thing was a mess. The contest was based on likes, but the likes and where the likes were located was not defined. So they got a lot of bad press for that one. But you can easily avoid these sort of things by saying what the rules are and having them easy to find. And if you don't want to get completely into them, you can link to the additional, more detailed version of the rules somewhere else. The other thing that people do is they misuse terms. So you'll notice last week I talked about a social media giveaway. The thing is that the word contest and sweepstakes and lottery all mean something specific. So we can't really use them interchangeably. Even it sounds like to the casual user, right? They sound the same. A sweepstakes is where a winner is chosen at random. So I fill out a form, I'm entered in, and I am randomly selected, right? That is a sweepstakes. A contest, however, is based on skill, which is why you'll see things like a photo contest or a video contest or a caption this contest. Those are all contests because you're submitting something that is based on some kind of skill. And you're theoretically chosen as the winner when your thing is the best, or what the judges deem as the best, right? And then you just want to avoid using the word lottery altogether if there's a lot of connotations with the word lottery. And really, if what you're saying is that it's up to chance, like you're randomly pulling a name, that's the word sweepstakes will, I think, stand in most cases. So just be aware of using the right terminology so that you avoid getting into some kind of trouble with it. Now, I remember this mostly from when I was a kid, and like there would give away stuff like in the grocery store and things like that, or you would be watching a TV commercial and they would say no purchase necessary, blah blah blah, blah, and then the guy would say say the rest of it really fast. When you have a contest, you cannot make you cannot make participating in that contest tied to someone having bought something. Now, if you want to, you can say like, "Oh, everybody who buys this is entered to win," but you have to, I think, provide a way for somebody to enter even if they haven't purchased. So sometimes I think when I was a kid, they'd be, giving stuff way off a cereal box, but then there would be like an additional form that you could send in even if you didn't get the thing off the cereal box. It's a bad example, but I think you get where I'm going here. So you cannot make participation work off of a purchase. And then this is something I didn't know either. And apparently Jessica was like, I didn't know this, but you cannot weigh entries differently. So you get 3 entries for every tweet, you get 5 entries by inviting friends and all that. Apparently that is illegal. Now we'll look more into the individual rules of different contests on different social media platforms next week, but I'll be really curious about diving into this. But I see this so frequently that I did not realize that that would be a violation, but it came up in the research, so we're putting it here. And if you are going to restrict entries in some way, you need to make sure it's compliant with your local laws. I guess different states, or I don't know if there's contest laws by city, there might be. Make sure that like if you are doing any kind of restrictions, that it doesn't interfere with whatever local laws are in place about that. And then the unofficial one, which Jessica included in her notes, and I will just say here too, is you have to make the prize proportional to the amount of work you're asking people to do. So for example, a sweepstakes, right? They're filling out a form that's pretty easy. If you're asking someone to submit a 10-minute video, and the only time I've seen this work is it was Real Maine Weddings would have people submit, I don't know if it was 10 minutes, but it was a longer form video. Maybe it was 5 minutes or something. But the whole thing is if you won an entire free wedding. So something worth tens of thousands of dollars, right? So if you're going to make someone film a whole video and you're going to give them, a bag of chips or something, people probably just aren't going to enter because the prize is not matching up with the amount of work you're asking them to do, especially if they're not, even close to being guaranteed to win. They might be doing that work for nothing. So just keep that in mind as you're running a contest. Now, if you heard all of this and are like, wow, Nicole, you're making running a contest sound like a real bummer. I don't want to do it. That's fine. What most people do, including large companies, is you can manage this through some kind of contest app. The contest apps stay in compliance with the rules as they're changing. Or if you're going to do it on your website, right? Obviously, you can link to full rules on your own website. Obviously, you can kind of control the entire process if you build the whole submission portal yourself. But what most people do is they use an app. So what I want to do is look at some examples and show you that they're probably all using the same app to run their contest. So again, this is shout out to Jessica. She did a really great job pulling this stuff together. So let's take a look. HGTV, enter. Oh, look at the rules. They're right here. They're right here. And they're longish. So if you want to get ideas for rules, I would look at some larger companies who clearly have legal departments. But so you enter your email address. Okay. So what I want to do, I'm going to enter the last contest just so that we go through it together. But okay, look at this form, right? Golly, this looks kind of similar, doesn't it? Enter your name, right? The rules are in a separate tab. Now, obviously, look, they kind of made it design wise a little bit different. They made this, a darker black, and then this one is, more has the underline with the selected page. I'm going to enter though this last one. And as you see, oh, look, now this one's purple. So you can do some light branding, but they're probably using some kind of app to do this. So, and here is the short version of the rules, right? Just like I was saying, but then the longer version of the rules is linked. So let's see if I can go win myself a vacation. I deserve one of those. Okay, so it's asking me to fill this out. Do I want to use my autofill? Oh, right, I don't have it set up. Okay, I don't necessarily want you all to know all those things, but as you see on the bottom, it says enter, and I am entered into the contest, right? And it says select and subscribe to the newsletters. I'm wondering if that's a requirement. I think they're allowed to make it a requirement, but I'm not entirely sure. So we can look at the code and see what contest this is. But the other thing we can do, like I said, if we're running it just on social media, is we can use an app. So we're a affiliate for Short Stack. We've used it for multiple clients to run contests. Essentially, it sets it up on your Facebook page, for example, and it is going to help you be automatically compliant. It's going to make sure the rules are linked and all of that. And then they have some examples here of what it could look like. It doesn't have to all be a sweepstakes thing. It doesn't have to be an instant win thing. I've run a photo contest through here. I've run a captioning contest through here. I've never asked people to make videos because I've never had anything that big to give away, but they have all of these different templates that you can work with, and also standalone pages if you want to also have it on your website and not just on social media. So I would go with an app. It's not super expensive. I remember it thinking, for the amount of hassle this saves, for the amount of bad feelings this saves. Oh, wow. Okay. It has gone up since I last looked at it. But for most small businesses, $99 a month. And if you were just running the contest for a month, you could just pay for it for a month and then pause it. 10,000 entries, 50,000 views. Now, I think that would cover most businesses, right? And it has all of the features that you would want it to have. So I'm not saying it costs nothing. I am saying that it is worthwhile to do things correctly. And if there is a website that's figured out how to do that, why not use it? Short Stack's not the only one. It's just, like I said, one I have direct experience with, and so feel comfortable promoting or pointing out as a good resource. But yeah, so that is some general best practices about running contests. I wanted Jessica and I to have time to talk more detailed about kind of Facebook versus other social media platforms, because, depending on who, right, you're trying to reach with the contest, will help you pick which platform to use for that contest. So once you think through, like, what is my objective? Is it to increase my email subscriptions? And do I need to collect an email address as part of that? Is it to bring awareness to a new product or service, among millennials? Is it, what is the point of is it to increase engagement on my Instagram because I want people to have it come up in their feeds more often? Whatever the objective is, will obviously have you pick what kind of contest you're going to run and where you're going to run it. So once you have kind of some ideas in mind, then we can look at the different platforms and what they will and won't allow, and can choose from there. So stay tuned next week where we go over the specific platforms and anything I might have missed in this broadcast, because like I said, I think Jessica is a contest expert at this point. But if you have any questions or ideas for future broadcasts, you can leave a comment wherever you're watching this video. Or if you want to do it more privately, you can go to the contact form on our website and let me know there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day and see you next week.